Okay, now let's see the procedure. This pond weed will be cut along the stem, and then we place the cut surface upwards in the test tube containing sodium hydrogen carbonate. So the cut part will be positioned upwards in the test tube, so that when we turn the test tube, it will face upwards. The cut side will come down, and then the part that was not cut will face upwards. Good. We place the test tube in a beaker of water of temperature of about 25 degrees Celsius. Now this test tube contains our sodium hydrogen carbonate. We place that in a beaker of water that has a temperature of about 25 degrees Celsius. We check the temperature regularly and renew the water if necessary. So in this case, we have our thermometer, which we are going to use in checking the temperature. The next thing is that we are going to darken the lab. We make sure that there is no light, external light coming into the lab. We place the lamp, which will be our only source of light, at a distance of about 10 meters from the plant. This is where our ruler comes in. The ruler will be used to measure the distance away from the setup. Now the plant is allowed to acclimatize in its new surroundings, and then we count the number of bubbles given off by the plant in 1 minute. Now when the rate of photosynthesis is high, more bubbles will be produced. But when the rate of photosynthesis is low, less bubbles will be produced. So we are going to repeat steps 4 and 5. Okay, but this time around, instead of 10 centimeters, we are going to extend to further distances. So the 10 centimeters, we count the number of bubbles produced at the 10 centimeters distance when the light is at the 10 centimeters distance. We repeat that for 20 centimeters, 30 centimeters, 40 centimeters, and in each case we are going to count the number of bubbles produced. Over here, as the distance increases, the light intensity decreases. As the distance from the setup increases, as you move the lamp away from the setup, the light intensity decreases. It's just like having a flashlight. If you draw it very close to your eye, you may not be able to open your eye, but when it is very far away, you can look directly at the flashlight because the intensity has decreased. Lastly, we record the results in a table and then plot a graph of number of bubbles per minute against distance between light and plant. Now the distance is going to be on the x-axis, and then the number of bubbles produced will be on the y-axis. That is because the number of bubbles produced will always depend on the distance from the setup.